Alrighty, boy. Now, YouTube's really delaying some of my uploads, so I'm not sure when these are going to be posted since my Princess Tutu one's still processing and has been for like 20 minutes now, which is unusual. Usually goes through like that. But, well, we'll figure that out. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. So, I watched this one on a plane, actually, so I got... Usually I don't get a chance to watch newer movies all that much, since usually I'm mostly just going over my collection or whatever I randomly pull off of Shutters or older streaming things, so it's rare that I watch something brand new. And this one was fairly new at the time, since it came out 2023. And I've been into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since the 80s. I grew up with the original cartoon series, so... And while I haven't watched a lot of the newer cartoons, I've seen several of the animated movies and the live-action movies as well. Played a lot of video games. Had a lot of the toys. This was my childhood. So, this came up on the plane, and I thought, why not? Let's give it a watch. Especially since they seem to be using a lot of the random characters from the 80s that I don't know if they showed up often, but it was kind of interesting to see. So, I liked it. The movie was good. I will agree with a lot of the critics saying that this is the one where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actually feel like real teenagers. They're kind of... There's a big story element here about them wanting to essentially get accepted into essentially the human world. They want to go to school. They want to be normal kids, despite Master Splinter's cautioning them that they're going to be, well, if they did go up there, they'd be dissected, kidnapped, and milked. A lot of emphasis on the milking. And, however, they begin, doing their hero business essentially in secret, and to try to, show that world that they're good guys. They meet April O'Neil during that, who's a high school student in this one. However, she's the type that has problems broadcasting due to her own nervous conditions. So, they end up meeting essentially a group of mutants who are up to some bad things. They roll with them for a while until they realize these guys are up to crimes, and they might not be so cool with crimes, especially when this might involve getting rid of all the humans. Something they're not too keen on, so they get a little conflicted and, well, have to go up against their newfound friends. So, the confliction element works really good, and a lot of the mutants that they are hanging out with they don't spend enough time on them, unfortunately, but they are fairly engaging for when they are there. Now, April O'Neil seems to have gone through a lot of design changes over the many years. This one seems to be closest to, I think, the Rise of the TMNT series, which I'm fine with. They change her up often enough. I'm nostalgic for the 80s grown woman reporter aspect, but I know they keep making April younger and younger to fit it, divide more with kids, I guess, but that's fine. I don't really feel too strongly about the racial choices they made with her. She's fine in any case. I mean, I do like the fact that she's taking a more active role rather than... I admit the version I grew up with was essentially the perennial damsel, so that's all her role really was. So to see her in this one actually, taking more of a active role in things it was good to see. But I don't have too many strong opinions on her otherwise. They really loaded up the cast on this one. And I'm not sure if some of the voices completely fit some of the characters, but that could just be me comparing them to the way I remember them from the 80s. Like for Leatherhead, for example, having he had this low, growling, intimidating voice back then, mixed with a Cajun accent, and here it's sort of like an Australian accent, and voiced by a lady. I'm not sure what gender they were trying to make Leatherhead in this one, but But, it was an interesting choice. But, like I said, the characters weren't on there long enough for me to form a more solid opinion on a lot of the other mutants. But the humor in the movie is really spot on. This is a very funny movie. A lot of the humor was working with for me. Even when it got a little cringy with Master Splinter at times, voiced by Jackie Chan. You felt it. There's a lot of heart in this one. So, yeah, I really did like this one. I do highly recommend it. I'll give it a good 7 MacGuffins. I mean, it's not something I don't know if it wasn't just one of the few things that I could pull up there. I don't know if I would have really sought it out, because as much as I'm a fan, I haven't engaged with the property very much at all for a long time. But it was definitely worth seeing. Alright, pretty much all I got on this one right now. Well, I guess the animation style is very Spider-Verse. Kind of the CG comic book style. It definitely seems to be pulling some inspiration there. And the soundtrack is pretty good, particularly when the characters are interacting with the soundtrack. So, they have a lot of fun with this. I do recommend it. See you later, boy.